Welcome to Equip, Build, and Mature. We're back in Crete, and as I like to do on Tuesdays, I want to share a word of encouragement with you. There is a moment in Scripture that should shake awake every disciple of Jesus. It's the showdown on Mount Carmel that we see in 1 Kings chapter 18. Israel, unfortunately, had fallen into idolatry, and the people of Israel still claimed that they were following God, but their lives served at another altar. King Ahab and his evil queen Jezebel claimed that they followed God, but their lives served Baal, another god, another altar. And so these two, Ahab and Jezebel, introduced the worship of Baal to Israel. Baal was the Canaanite god of rain, fertility, and prosperity. And so the people of God started blending worship. They wanted the benefits of Baal, and they wanted the blessings of Yahweh. Sadly, that sounds all too familiar for us today. Elijah stepped onto the mountain, and he said something that still echoes in our souls today. This is in 1 Kings chapter 18, verse 21. And this is what it is recorded as Elijah saying. This is to Israel. How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, then follow him. In Hebrew, the phrase waver between two opinions literally means to limp or hobble between two branches. In other words, the people were spiritually crippled because they were trying to stand on two altars, one to Baal, one to God, at the same time. At that point, Elijah called for a test. 2 altars, 2 sacrifices, no fire from humans. And the God who answered by fire to devour the sacrifice would prove who is real. Well, the prophets of Baal, they went first. 450 prophets crying out, screaming, shouting, dancing, cutting themselves, performing all sorts of religious rituals. But nothing happened. No fire, no response, no movement. Because Baal was not a god. Baal was a man-made idol. Then Elijah rebuilt God's altar. And God, through his written word, says the altar had been broken down. Before fire could fall from heaven, the altar had to be repaired. So Elijah placed the sacrifice on the altar, and then he drenched it all with water. 3 times he poured water over the sacrifice and the altar, until the trench around the altar was full. Humanly speaking, it looked impossible. But when Elijah prayed, fire fell from heaven, not only on the sacrifice, but also on the altar for God. The fire consumed the wood, it consumed the stones, it consumed the dust, and it even consumed the water. See, that's the difference. And we need to see and understand that difference. It's the difference between a real altar to God and a false altar to a man-made image of God. False altars require performance and adrenaline and movement and activity and loudness. But true altars require surrender. And the fire of God exposed the difference. So many people today claim to follow God with their lips, but they have built altars to other things, so many other things. They built those altars on their hearts, and you see it displayed in their lives. Altars to money and attention, altars to influence and lust, altars to success and cultural acceptance, altars to personal comfort and egocentricity. On Sundays, many sing about God, but on Monday through Saturday, they sacrifice their time, loyalty, and devotion to something other than the one true God. And many people wonder why there's no fire, why there's no movement, why there's no transformation. See, the issue is not that God stopped moving. The issue is that many self-proclaimed followers of God are still standing between two altars. Elijah's question still stands for us today. How long will we waver between two opinions? If God is God, then follow him. Not halfway, not occasionally, not when it is convenient, not based on what you feel. Follow him fully, because he is our creator. He is our sustainer. He is our redeemer. He is our judge. We cannot expect heaven's fire to fall on an altar that is dedicated to something other than the one true God, shown to us through God's revealed, written, inspired word. Some altars in our lives need to be destroyed. Some idols in our lives must be torn down. Some loyalties in our lives need to be broken. Some compromises in our lives, they need to end. When the altar belongs fully to God, the fire always follows. And when the fire falls from heaven, from God, every false god is exposed. Today, I want to encourage you, get rid of any altar that competes with or compromises your total allegiance to God. Hope you have a great Tuesday. Thanks for stopping by for a few moments. I hope this encouraged you and perhaps challenged you to want to follow God more closely. Have a good day. Take care.